Enemies, they bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, where they had your whole face smack. Look at you, wonder why, hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my, now who are you?
EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the back.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bernardrick McKinney in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 34. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
To throw is Watson. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
Come back.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Now Now he'll let this one go. Deep left sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
Third and long. It's Watson. Smith catches left side. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Come back, come back.
They're going for it. It's Watson, and that's caught by Smith. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Watson now to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Well, Charles, it feels like Lamar Miller's been around the NFL forever, but he's still just going to turn 28 in April. This past year, though, 973 rushing yards, good for 12th in the league.
And you know that he's capable of being a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out, save for some injuries and maybe utilizing the pass game a little bit more in Houston. 4.6 yards per carry is a healthy number, and that was his highest since 2014 when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
From the red zone now, Watson being chased out left. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Watson looks to throw again. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon, it's the...
Hey, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And take it right on the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Well, the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. It was the first time that two AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Black 99 Philly. Two jet. Tiger.
Here's Watson now on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Coleman. Got some real estate inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a first and goal to go at the 7. They'll run here with Freeman. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal.
Tuesday.
On third and goal, Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And by the way, I need to pass along a reminder that our ladder for the Madden Challenge Tournament is still open in MUT Drafts until February 11th. And the prize pool for the Madden Challenge, folks, $190,000.
And who wouldn't want to participate in something where you could get a piece of $190,000?
That's what I'm wondering.
Get in, get it done. Let's have some fun.
After the interception, here's Watson. Airing it out deep for Smith. And it pops.
eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. Looking here for Smith downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Going up top. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Black 22! Black 22! Come back, come back! Go ahead, let's go, go!
They are going for it. Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And got his man complete. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the sticks make a drastic shift forward. Airing it out deep for Smith. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
It certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
This is Coleman, and very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Now Ryan. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
But nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly,
that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Okay, partner, got to fit in some Super Bowl chatter here. We're going to have New England and the L.A. Rams, 2 teams that had to go on the road and win their respective conference titles.
And think about this. The Patriots, who went to 8 straight AFC Championship games, back in the Super Bowl yet again, yet they believe they're the underdogs and feel like the whole world is against them. How did they get to adopt that posture? But it's working for them.
And remember, by the way, the Patriots, their first Super Bowl win. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards. They'll try and run for it with Miller. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. He's going to let this, and now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Andre Howe. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Back to throw, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Watson now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, as the first half is winding down, and the Texans are in for 6. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble, as he'll bring this one out to the 27. For the Falcons, Charles, we've talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And his throw is incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards from Falcon territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Richmond. Come back.
From the gun, here's Watson. Looking here for Smith downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Come back.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston.
I seen the best of them.